Hello everyone, my name is Beckett and welcome back to the channel. And today in Division 2, we're going to be checking out the latest global event, Hollywood, as well as how it exactly works and how you can get through it the most efficient way possible. We're also going to be taking a look at the global event shop and kind of showing you or guiding you what you should really be spending your currency on, whether you are at 4,000 shade or you are a new player and you are just looking to get some of these sweet new named items. But before we get started, hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that notification bell if you want to be updated when my latest videos come out. Alright, before we do anything, you're going to want to actually hop into your start or your escape menu and actually go to your seasons tab and go ahead and click on Hollywood, and you're going to see there's an activate, or if you already have it activated, it will see deactivated. On PC, you just hit F or hold it and it will activate in about 5 or 10 seconds. You're going to want to make sure you do this every time one of these global events start. You don't have to do it on the manhunt leagues or any of that, but definitely when you're doing this, because we will not be able to receive our currency, receive the rewards, or do any part of this global event. So just make sure it is activated. As well, I want to mention, let's say you hop into random matchmaking, as long as you have it activated, you are going to be put into groups with other people who have it activated, so you never have to worry about that. But let's say you group up with friends, you're going to want to make sure whoever the leader is, that they have that activated. Otherwise it just won't work. Even if you have it activated, it does not matter. You're not going to be accruing those points, those stars, currency, whatever you want to call that. There are certain areas in the game where it just doesn't work, and you need to be aware of that. So you're not going to be able to go in the raids. Thank God, that would be a disaster. As well, you're not going to be able to go into expedition or the dark zone. Those will not be activated in those areas, but you can do anything else, legendary missions. In my personal opinion, the best way to complete this, unless you are doing some specific challenges, is just hop into the random matchmaking for heroic missions. If you can't do heroic missions, you can hop into challenging. You are going to be in an instant queue all the time, so you can just chain run these until you complete your challenges. Now, I would highly suggest just keep this event active all week. Just keep running them so you can just keep getting that additional currency, so we can get into that global event shop and buy as many items or caches that we want, depending if you are trying to optimize things or you just want to get a new named item. Now let's hop over to the actual mechanics of the event. So every enemy you come into encounter during this event is going to have a yellow tint around them, and that's basically your cue that they are shielded. And there's a few different ways you can break the shield. You can use a specialization weapon, say your gunner, say your grenade launcher. Any specialization weapon is going to break it. Any type of explosive damage, so if you're running a seeker, explosive build, that will work, but it does not seem very effective. The best way, in my opinion, is just use EMPs, use your EMP skill, use your EMP sticky. I found that to be the most effective way. I ended up using a super spreader build that I have in my playlist. I will leave a card for you guys to check it out, but it's basically Eclipse Protocol with a Scorpio, and instead of using my regular skills, I swapped both of them out with the EMP Pulse and the EMP Sticky. They work very great. The EMP Sticky is really nice to get those long range enemies, attach it to those chungas, or to deal with those dogs if you are inside a Black Tusk mission. Overall, this isn't like the Shade Exposed events or any of the other global events where it's drastically going to affect how you play the game. Mostly it's just going to stop you from doing a little bit of damage, but if you have those EMPs, you have that explosive build, any one of those is going to work, and you're not going to have too much trouble. But generally, just stick with the EMPs and a run and gun, and you are going to be in the best scenario possible. Now, when it comes to challenges, we will look at day 1, and we might cover the other days if you want me to cover the other days for some specific challenges that are just a headache. I will be happy to make that video. Just let me know down in the comments. Now, there is one challenge on day 1 that is kind of worded a little differently, where you might think that it means you can use an EMP, but you actually can't. It doesn't actually give you credit. I don't know if this is a bug or it's just worded improperly. So it says damage shield hostiles with a thrown grenade explosion or EMP. So it actually has to be a thrown EMP, so that EMP grenade or just a regular grenade. Now, when you are doing these challenges, say throwing the grenade or you have to melee a shielded target, it's best just to go into a solo mission. Now, my favorite favorite mission to do this is on Federal Emergency Bunker because it's just very easy to get it done. You can throw that on story mode and just rinse and repeat. You can do that first corridor, or if you want to go right past the first corridor where there's a couple of guys where they're talking about Emmeline and they stand in one little area, you can throw a grenade, get 3 kills, or you can use your specialization weapon, get 3 kills, and just rinse and repeat and just let them kill you and do it over and over. And you can finish these challenges in about 5 to 10 minutes. All the progress I made on my challenges, I probably spent like 5 minutes doing it and I was done, and I don't really have to mess with it for the rest of the day. Now, when it comes to rewards, we get a bunch of different caches, and it is very worth going all the way to tier 10. Ever since we've seen an optimization station nerf, it makes it very easy to upgrade everything, so it doesn't seem like such a daunting task to optimize your full set or whatever favorite sets you want to optimize. Now, if you're above 1000 shade level, it's much easier, but for those people who are still at those lower shade levels, they may struggle with getting the mats for optimization. So it's very essential that you get these done so you can get those extra materials, because they are a pain to grind at lower shade levels. One thing to mention, if you've already done Hollywood before, if you just log on and you just activate the event, you're going to get a name cache right off the bat. So it's a good thing to know if you don't want to mess with the event and you just want a free name cache. Now let's take a look at the global event shop. So if you don't know where it is, it's not actually in the White House, it's right outside. So if you fast travel to the White House, you just turn to your right, you're going to see a dude that looks like Al Franken. Just go ahead and talk to him and you're going to see what he has in his inventory. Now this is where we get what do you buy with your currency. Now my personal suggestion is, if you are past 1000 shade, you're not really worried about any of those named items, you already have them, you've put a lot of time in this game and there's not really any other named item you are actually looking for, then I would start putting your caches into the gear crafting, the optimization caches, anything you need. If you are still looking for that shade calibration items, go ahead and put it into that. You don't really need to waste your money or your currency on named item caches. Now, if you are early in your progression, let's say you just picked up the game, you just hit shade level 100, or you're very low in your progression, optimization isn't really necessary and you really shouldn't be focusing on that. You should really be focusing on getting some good gear sets, finding out how you like to play, where you like to play, and this is a good time to buy named item caches, since there is really no good way to farm named item caches other than going inside the summit and doing 30 challenges, but that is a very long process and it's just not worth it, and it's not really worth it as a time sink. So if you really want to get named items, you want to get any named item, whether it's in the DZ or in the light zone, it is definitely worth buying them from this vendor. Like, I am still looking for my Emperor knee pads and I actually picked up an apartment this week, so that was nice. That was one more thing off my list, and I'm still looking for those Emperor knee pads for my PvP set. Until then, I will be using Fox Purrs. But other than that, that's all I have for this video. I hope it helped out. Like I said, if you want me to make a video on the other challenges, if you guys are struggling with them, go ahead and put them down in the comments. And if you have any other questions, tips, you know where to leave them. And again, make sure you hit that subscribe, and always thanks for watching.